Addressed to the nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the 46th anniversary of independence, celebrating our identity, inspiring our future. A very pleasant day to all. Happy Independence. Let me thank all of you, fellow Vincentians, who continue to support the sustained initiatives organized so far by the National Liberation Movement, NLM, of which I am the proposed leader. As we approach the upcoming general election, we need you to hear us as we offer ourselves as an alternative party of choice in the upcoming general election. True, we do not know the exact date for the election, but we know that it is inevitable. This is a moment in our history for which we can make the best choice that will determine the quality of our lives and lives as we look towards the future. We must do so under the guidance of the Holy Spirit. I pray that we will not regret it. Our nation has been the home to over 100,000 of its people. Among these, our beloved fellow citizens, a few of us women over the years were encouraged by our men to stand at the forefront of the political stage and make our collective voices known. As such, the efforts of brilliant female champions before me should never be underestimated. Mention is made here of Bertha Mutt, Elmer Francois, and others. In more recent times, the words of Mrs. Nelsie Robinson Hazel must resonate and challenge us as we engage the population on political issues in the interest of true human development. In commemoration of another independence celebration, we are borrowing from Nelsie's words as we believe them to be true. Let our actions echo Bertha Mutt and Elmer Francois, who famously said, "I know that my speeches create a fire in the minds of the people so as to change conditions which now exist." End of quote. I endorse those sentiments as I stand in spirit, shoulder to shoulder with these other female champions of all time. These women were and are part of why we continue to celebrate our identity, and even though some have died, they continue to inspire us through their words as we look forward to our future. Constitutionally due every 5 years, this election milestone will be reached in 2025, or as some say, 2026. We urge fellow Vincentians to vote for the National Liberation Movement, NLM, with its symbol as the bicycle. Our tagline is "Together We Will." Allow me to share with us some of the reasons for our existence as a political movement and why we must vote for the NLM in the interest of true national, economic, and social development. Remember, on election day, whenever it is, we need to go out and vote for the NLM. I'll tell you why. Our Vincentian philosophy. Firstly, let us remind ourselves by re-examining our philosophy as Vincentian nationals. We are a unique people that inhabit the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, SVG. As such, we are either citizens by birth, descent, registration, and/or hold dual citizenship according to our Constitution and our citizenship law. Our relationship to our homeland and to each other is deemed to be either historical, residential, legal, and or cultural, collective and or otherwise. Several and or all of these connections exist and are the source of our identity. Our people believe in the supremacy of God and the freedom and dignity of man. We Vincentians are honest, hardworking, fostering a belief in ourselves as holistic beings, and aspire to be the best expression of ourselves for the benefit of each other and for our collective greater good. The call to vote. Whether or not you have voted for one of the existing parties or you have never voted, we urge you to vote for a much needed change that you would wish to see in this blessed land of ours. We cannot afford to give up hope now and to become apathetic. This is our moment, and now is our time. We must continue to cultivate more than a mere modicum of hope. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is destined to rise again. We believe that with God's help and His enabling, all things are possible, and together we will. Just like the days of old, the motivation is that we shall be of thee and shall build old waste places. We shall raise up the foundations of many generations. We shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. Although spiritual in intent and context, the same motivation was within the minds of our female ancestors. Many women and men have lived and died in the hope of a better tomorrow. Those of us who are alive continue to carry this torch. Both men and women who have the capacity and capability should never renege on their God-given tasks. We must rise to the challenge to create our identity as we continue with efforts at inspiring our future. History will condemn us if we refuse to respond to the challenges at hand. We must vote for much needed change, and women of voting age are encouraged to vote for the NLM with such fire in their bones. Women before us contributed to part of our composite identity as warriors and champions of worthy causes. Thank you to all of our women. We celebrate you and thank you for inspiring us to go forward in faith. To those who have become disenfranchised with the existing parties, those who are currently in fumbling service, we urge you to stand with us as we bring to you a fresh perspective on governance for the people by the people. Place your mark or an X next to the symbol of the bicycle when you vote for the NLM. Our country needs all of us so as to continue to provide the greatest platform on which we must stand, especially in these tumultuous times. Women and men, we must never forget our men. We do know how to make ends meet. We hold dear to the truths that we are collectively stronger and better by far. Lest we forget, we thank our real men for standing up for us, especially in the face of injustice. The race to Parliament is close. We have heard the critics, read the reports, attended some rallies, and you can feel that there is a need for a change with the right set of candidates in the interests of national development. We all need each other. Over the years, we have watched our country become a place where there is an interpretation of politics of hatred and division. We must not continue to sit or throw up our arms in the air and declare nothing better can be done. We cannot afford to remain complacent if we are, or just turn our eyes and decide that we are doing nothing to turn a new page on what constitutes the real focus of national, economic, and social development in this, our beloved country. We have to, we must, and together we will create the changes that are needed. It must be our desire to elect politicians with personal and professional integrity. Those who, under the mandates laid out in our Constitution, those who are dedicated to serve our people, some of whom are to be located within our diaspora. Also, there are thousands of individuals elsewhere who love our people and our country. We thank you for your interest and investments. Your continued support of our national economic and social development agenda is welcomed. There are others who are observers and have expressed interests in development initiatives for our mutual benefits. But with an NLM-led administration, only servant leaders are well positioned to guide processes within our country that would lead us into a better political future with the help of Almighty God. The NLM is well poised to be the best alternative in this sense and to champion the phase of the development of our nation towards our future. This is a movement of destiny, and with God's help, all things are possible. Hope for it, believe for it, and see the changes needed for a brighter tomorrow. The NLM recognizes that certain quality of quiet endurance that is seeping into the political consciousness of our people. To date, although there are other alternatives, the NLM is a movement with its liberation ideology inspired by time-tested, cross-jurisdictional focus and successes. We are celebrating our identity and inspiring our future. No one can predict what the future holds, but the NLM is confident that it will do its very best to respond to the call for political change needed by our country. In collaboration with you, the nation builders, we are prepared to meet these challenges that confront us as we develop into a more recognizable small island developing state. It is only together we will. Our campaign and leadership. We will continue with our campaign that is built on the not so robust approach as is normally employed by others. Ours will be one that targets every household in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and through the media, printed and electronic, as we continue to reach out to the diaspora, demonstrating a decided difference. We are one people, one nation under God. We are prepared to overcome obstacles thrown in our way with God's help. We are confident that our campaign is proportionately targeted. We believe that this strategy will dominate the political landscape and one that will lead us to demonstrating what constitutes servant leadership of our beloved country. Under astute leadership led by prospective candidate Doris Charles, PhD Law, The NLM will remain fearless and prayerful against opponents. The NLM will not be engaging in political mudslinging or tactics that will demean or destroy the credibility of itself and the worthy opponents who are generally family, related, or friends. Ours will be a campaign that builds on the naked facts and provides solutions to a system, and within that system that is so much in need of solid repairs. We speak of astute leadership and a collective voice that would share thoughts and ideas from village councils, town councils, and you the people here on our islands, as well as from those within our diaspora. Astute leadership, as much as it is a part of our servant leadership paradigm within the national liberation process, encompasses several theories and beliefs about our human development. This model of leadership involves a keen insight, strategic thinking on what constitutes true human development, and an even sharper focus on what, when, where, why, and how to navigate the associated complexities that are present and to achieve impactful beneficial results for all. Even though there is a female strong voice, she is the expressed composite of a collective voice that we call the remarkable NLM. We are not about self. We are about the benefit for the sum total of the whole. We have qualities that include but are not limited to strong strategic and social awareness, emotional intelligence, the capacity and capability of sound decision-making, and adaptability. The NLM also has the understanding as to how to build trust and inspire teams across every segment of our landscape. Our astute leadership team does not only possess intelligence garnered from printed material and from lived experiences, but we are deeply rooted and grounded in divine guidance and have been given the wisdom to understand our people. Our astute management or leadership team understands our environment, social and otherwise, as we continue to contemplate trends and to anticipate major changes as we are prepared to incubate an enduring love for a resilient, high-performing culture. Governance for the people, by the people. As we stand on the threshold of another general election, and in celebration of this, our 46th anniversary of independence, the NLM advocates for a reconceptualized structure of governance. 1. The tenure of office of the Prime Minister to be limited to 2 consecutive terms, which will be subjected to a constitutional amendment in keeping with other former colonies that inherited constitutional monarchies with 3 branches of government. This inherited system comprises the traditions of a monarchy within the principles of a parliamentary democracy. Additional discussions are to be had with the nation as to whether we move ultimately towards other changes within this system. 2. Along with 14 proposed ministerial positions, there will be the inclusion of village councils, town councils, and other special committees appointed from time to time in order to give support to the decision-making process and to craft the agenda on a more dynamic national, economic, and social development framework for our country. Greater consideration will be given to the genuine development of all the Grenadine Islands, especially in light of perceived gentrification on islands like on an island like Canavan. 3. There will be the strengthening of the main branches of the government, namely the executive, legislative, and judiciary, through the encouragement of training and other initiatives in order for a better delivery of services to our nationals at home and abroad. The civil service. Up front, we sometimes refer to our civil service as that body of hard-working and like-minded individuals that holds a wider political subsistence together. When it comes to a high-performing culture within the civil service, we envisage a working environment conducive to optimal productivity, where employees with quality work ethics and attitude are aligned overall goal achievement within a re-envisioned national economic and social development framework. Greater emphasis will be placed on the development of our human capital as we celebrate our identity and inspire our future. A high-performing culture will be encouraged as it will encompass motivated and highly trained employees, local consultants, retired civil servants in specialist areas, all of whom are expected to be effective and empowered so as to deliver their very best in continuing service and to rebuild and or build our nation. Many could be referred to as repairers of the breaches. Our Civil Service Charter, as proposed, to be premised on the Civil Service Act 1984 and the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, will reflect values of accountability, transparency, loyalty, pragmatism, integrity, meritocracy, and equity, drawn from a composite of years of service and lived experiences. The NLM believes that continuous learning and effective communication will definitely lead to productivity. The NLM envisages a real sense of innovation and enhanced business successes to be replicated in the public sector and could be done in collaboration with the private sector. The NLM is about effective leadership with a sense of direction and of purpose towards genuine human, economic, and social development, and will work with our civil service to its fulfillment. The NLM is geared towards a culture of trust and inclusion within our civil service as we inspire our future generations. Finally, on this note, our civil service must be commended as one that is the vehicle in which our nation is carried and continues to be carried across each phase of the national development spectrum, since politicians come and go. Also, our civil service is likened to that remarkable enabling force that continues to function as best as it could, given the face of some of the most robust politics that our nation has ever faced in its history as an independent nation state. Special mention of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, RSVG-PF. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force remains the sole agency for law enforcement in our beloved country. Heartfelt congratulations to all who are being promoted as a result of hard work and dedication to duty. You have demonstrated that over the years and the position for future endeavors, you will continue to protect lives and property and maintain law and order. Members of the Coast Guard, service, and other specialized units are herein included for special mention on the performance of your duties in the prevention of crime, detection of crime, and the assistance rendered to border control. That is, port regulations, amendments to legislation as well, and in your execution of all legal warrants. The resources of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All of the resources of this small island state belong to all of us, and through our humanitarian efforts, they must remain accessible to all. I speak here more specifically of materials and supplies. No longer can we allow others to dictate who gets a mass of resources distributed according to the politics of food. We are better by far. The NLM will continue to build a remarkable campaign as we go forward in faith. When we engage in public debates from the street corners to the bosom of rural shops and villages, our words would be geared towards a rage against injustices everywhere as we offer solutions. Further, the encouragement to our people is for them, for us to galvanize their positions, our positions, to take hold of opportunities provided by the construction of seaports and airports and other initiatives, so as to turn current weaknesses into strengths and to continue to build on the strengths that exist, while simultaneously assessing and responding to the threats, what we have recognized from every quarter. The ultimate goal is to build a better St. Vincent and Grenadines for ourselves and future generations. The orange or creative economy, education, and the support from the youths. Congratulations to all our youths who excelled, whether in academics or else. Our future is safe in your hands, especially in light of the potential for real human development. You will do well to raise the bar and contribute significantly to our Human Development Index. The NLM calls on you, our youthful population, to assist with helping all others, especially from rural St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to be ready to take a giant leap to the next level on our developmental path. The orange economy or the creative economy is one way our collective harnessing of skills, attitudes, and aptitudes of our young people will be pivotal to this process of enabling. The orange economy is about economic activities that are premised primarily on areas such as intellectual property, art, craft, music, film, publishing, development of software, and other innovation through research and continual learning. The youth will be called upon to share their knowledge and experiences within the sphere of economic activities. The youth policy, your youth policy, conceptualized by the NLM, but has been reshaped by the contributions of our young people, holds truths within the orange economy. It is no wonder that part of our working document also is synchronized to or with the orange economy, so that its contribution to a holistic development agenda cannot be lost. Wealth creation among our youths through entrepreneurship is vital. Our youths have spoken. Thank you. The NLM is aware that a wide spectrum of largely untapped range of economic activities lie within this orange economy. These are based on creativity that includes but and are not limited to intellectual property within art, music, film, publishing, software, and research. An NLM-led administration will continue to assist with building the capacity of the youths of this country and encourage them even now to make use of every resource that comes their way, be it small gifts that could be deemed small money or equipment. We have to vote, and if I may say so, we are compelled to vote for meaningful change. Not forgetting our farmers, their contributions to national development will be consolidated with elements drawn from the orange economy. Also, those relevant aspects of the envisaged digital transformative platforms and other aspects will be taught to you or us by youthful stakeholders within the orange economy across all communities. This is why specific guidance from the Manual on Village Council will be important. There will be a place for youths, members of various communities, and representatives of quote-unquote economies will work together for an identity of a St. Vincent and the Grenadines that is responsive to the changing times in which we live. There is a future to be had. The citizens, young and old, will elect your representatives, and this is why it is so important to vote. We continue to encourage you to exercise your right to vote. No one should be left out of the decision-making process. Education. The NLM recognizes that the education economy, quote-unquote, is not characterized by a specific color because it cuts across every sector within the national economic and social development agenda. Tied intricately to the creative and cultural activities and industries, as well as to other sectors, education is pivotal to nation building. This is why one of the first things that will be done by an NLM-led administration within its proposed 100 days in office is a literacy survey specific to our island. Education is a foundation for economic growth, digital transformation, technology, fisheries, and other key areas. It cannot be overemphasized that education fuels the creative industries, entrepreneurship, and wealth creation, all geared towards nation building. The NLM will continue to support all educational institutions that provide our young and old citizens with knowledge and skills aimed at productivity that cuts across every spectrum of society. The NLM will seek to empower a nation to become a more educated populace and one that is functionally literate, since the times in which we live, the future we hope to achieve, therein lies vital characteristics for a strong and prosperous nation under the guidance of God. The blue economy and green economy. Firstly, we have heard about the blue economy, which refers to the effective and the sustainable use of our ocean resources, primarily for economic growth, even as we seek to promote the health of the marine ecosystems, marine energy, and biotechnology. The NLM will continue to pay particular attention to traditional sectors like fisheries, tourism, offshore renewable energy, and aquaculture. The NLM will seek to utilize its resources so as to get a competitive advantage to balance its economic benefits, coupled with long-term environmental sustainability included in its agenda on development. Emphasis will also be placed on those local jobs within fisheries, port activities, and the tourism sector. The NLM recognizes and is positioned to respond to challenges not limited to pollution, the impact of climate change, and the ever-prevalent issue of overexploitation of our resources. The NLM will address these issues using the models already developed and waiting to be implemented. The green economy. Secondly, the green economy. Agriculture is pivotal to the green economy. The NLM contemplates and is prepared to harness this green economy, quote unquote, that will prioritize human well-being at the forefront within the context of genuine agricultural redevelopment. Borrowing from 2 Timothy 2:6, it is the hard-working farmer who should be the first in time to receive a share of his own crops. This illustrates the point that those who work hard deserve to be compensated. Additionally, within the green economy, social equity is pivotal while reducing further environmental risks and ecological scarcities. The NLM, along with the governance structure built on the Together We Will philosophy, will steer St. Vincent and the Grenadines towards a development agenda that includes, but is not limited to, a low-carbon, resource-efficient, and socially inclusive paradigm. It will continue to seek investments for such activities like renewable energy, sustainable transport, and efficient waste management. This approach has been advised and accepted with the main objectives to decouple economic growth. The point being, SVG will be guided from current elements that impact environmental degradation towards a greener future and towards additional wealth creation for farmers and others without harming the land and our planet. The issue of creating wealth will be found in jobs within the subsectors of sustainable agriculture, clean energy manufacturing, and platforms associated with green financing. Agriculture is part of this green economy paradigm and will be significantly improved. There is a requirement to transform the traditional methods to sustainable practices, which the Ministry of Agriculture is well prepared to handle. Discussions are already undertaken with specialists, local, regional, and international, who understand what it takes to implement the green economy with agriculture, GEA model. Food security is integrated with the health of the ecosystem, and the result is the complementary benefits to be derived from a green economy and sustainable agricultural practices. There will be a significant contributory reduction in the current high import food bill that currently stands at over $1 billion CIF, according to recent figures obtained from the East Caribbean Central Bank. The Ministry of Agriculture, drawing from the working document as proposed by the NLM, will amend and adjust proposals to the benefit of all farming communities. It will document, teach, train, and guide farmers on practices that will reduce pollution, improve efficiency, sequestering carbon, and lending support to livelihoods without creating additional harm to the environment. Innovative ideas from the digital transformation platforms will help to sequester carbon in agriculture. The Ministry of Digital Transformation will assist the Ministry of Agriculture as they work together on the improvement of soil health and sustainable practices that are data-driven. Artificial intelligence and remote sensing will be utilized to provide additional data for optimal use and management of water, tillage, and fertilizer that would ultimately lead to more carbon sequestering practices. The Ministry of Technology will also collaborate with the Ministry of Agriculture in its fight against predial larceny. The Ministry of Legal Affairs will work with and on behalf of the farming communities to strengthen laws aimed at the reduction and control of predial larceny and other legislation aimed at agricultural development. Farmers will be taught on a regular schedule as to how to address issues like overcropping and no-till farming practices. The NLM is mindful that farmers have been robbed of over 25,000 acres of land originally allocated for farming. An irrational approach towards acquisition of farmlands has to be restored. The survival of our nation stands on agriculture, which is the backbone of our economy. The NLM is assured that other areas can be converted into farmlands, while some hold the potential for conversion into carbon sinks, as there can be enhanced soil carbon storage. The NLM is advised further that these will add to the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. All farmers in this country deserve to be upskilled and harness the benefits of best practices as they seek additional wealth creation. The economic and social benefits of a green agriculture economy are numerous to mention and are not limited to poverty reduction, job creation, especially in the rural areas of our country where most of our population now live. The NLM recognizes that there would be challenges. The discussions that held the greatest solutions led us to believe that even though environmental challenges exist, there would be significant improvement to high water consumption, land degradation and soil pollution, and a lessening of greenhouse gas emissions where they now exist. As farmers transition to more green practices, there would be improvement all round to every sector of our national economy. Ecclesiastical affairs, family life, and crime. The NLM has made a strong point in our campaigns that family life and crime and violence are to be addressed as a matter of public policy. The Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs will be in the forefront of this initiative. There is an interconnectedness between ecclesiastical affairs, family life, and crime control. The recognition is that religious institutions and strong families must continue to work together for a safer society. The NLM will continue to encourage this collaboration with all so that there remains a strong bond or control that is exerted to reduce crime and criminality. The result is the promotion of stronger and more stable communities. The NLM will join with key stakeholders within its governance structure, and we pledge our commitment to the tasks ahead of us. The NLM supports all churches whose role is understood to be the provision of moral guidance. They are believed to respond and are responding to the ideal espoused in the Constitution as promoting the supremacy of God and to uphold biblical truths. The NLM will continue through this ministry and encourage other personal endeavors to support networks and other activities aimed at providing rehabilitation services to all. Leaders and heads of household and families will continue to instill values and encourage and exemplify positive character building traits in their children. They will be encouraged to play a vital role in crime prevention, as the NLM-led administration cannot replace these vital roles. The village and town councils will also play an active role as they seek to lend community support and engage in conflict resolution training on a regular basis so as to build safer and more stable societies. The symbol of the bicycle. As we contemplate nation building into the future on our 46th national independence, the NLM encourages you to vote for our movement with the symbol of the bicycle that is so relevant to our civilization today and in the future. Let us be reminded of its symbolism. 1. Being sustainable and environmentally responsible. 2. Forward and upward movement and progress. 3. Balance and stability. 4. Empowerment and self-reliance. 5. Accessibility and an inclusive agenda. Together we will. 6. Simplicity and efficiency. 7. Community and connection. 8. Healthy living and well-being. 9. Freedom and mobility, and renewed local focus on urban development. That's number 10. As we aspire to reap further benefits from being an independent nation, our population should be recognized as having the potential for remaining permanent and robust in human development. It is a defined territory but must remain so without infiltration of gentrification or other issues designed to encourage us to let go of our patrimony. In Micah chapter 2 and verse 2, the NLT version, the good book says this: when you want a piece of land, you find a way to seize it. When you want someone's house, you take it by fraud and violence. You cheat a man of his property, stealing his family's inheritance. End of quote. These words should never condemn us as an independent nation, and with a future ahead of us. It is back to the words of Micah 6:8 that we are guided. Quote, he had showed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. End of quote. We must have a government with the capacity and capability to govern the affairs of state without fear or favor, one that is duly elected and one that has capacity to enter into relations with other states based on the national economic and social agenda, reflective of the times in which it reigns. As a sovereign foreign state within the Commonwealth or any other political, social, or economic grouping, it must continue to govern itself without outside interference. Being an independent nation, it will continue to make its own laws, effectively manage its own economy, and continue to conduct its foreign relations with whom it chooses to diplomatically align. As a small island developing state, we must continue to build on those strategic abilities we can harness to defend and control our territorial borders and our collective resources, not limited by any sphere of our economy, quote unquote. On this, our celebration of independence, we beseech you to welcome us, the National Liberation Movement, into your collective consciousness as we seek to serve with integrity. Whatever the future brings, our faith will see us through. May peace reign from shore to shore, and God bless and keep us true. We urge you to vote for the National Liberation Movement in this upcoming election, and happy independence. Be safe. I am Doris Charles PhD Law, Pro Tempore Leader, National Liberation Movement.